now.
Hello, my name is Adam. I am the singer and guitarist in the band Fruity Water.
Hi, and I'm Alan, and I play these keyboards and do a bit of production and some samplers and stuff like that, and also do a little bit of singing in Fruity Water as well. We're coming to you live from our own houses, not live, recorded.
Not live, is it?
No, it's not live. From our own houses at the moment, because we're currently in this lockdown, which we're all in at the moment. We would have liked to have done this together, but we haven't actually seen each other in person for about 2 months or something, which is a shame.
We've got a new release out. It's called the Telephone Song EP. It's a 4-track EP that's just been released on Big Salad Records.
So Adam, how did we go about writing the song Telephone Song?
Good question. The song Telephone Song, we actually read it quite recently. It's one of our most recent songs, I believe. I had bought a brand new guitar pedal, reverb pedal, the Ocean's 11 pedal.
I've actually got it here. There we go.
There it is. I missed that pedal. It's got loads of different sounds on it, and I'm just experimenting with that and just really created a certain atmosphere. And then I came up with a riff, something like this. Like that, messed around with that for a while, and then Smadden, I think you sort of adding stuff at that point, weren't you?
Yeah, he took that guitar riff and the new pedal to a music studio, and then I turned around on the keyboard and just came up with this bass line. And that was it. Roughly that.
Yeah, so often the songs are born out of a studio jam, and this is the case here. So we have a regular place we go to in Brighton. I think we played around with that for ages, and then just come up with some vocal parts. And then I think the middle section we wrote quite a lot later on. We just thought I needed another bit, and it was just around a few chords. So something like that, wasn't it? D down to C again. Which just sounds quite different on acoustic, but then Smallen, you really turned that into a more euphoric dance type section later on, I guess. It took a bit of time to develop that bit.
Yeah, it was influenced by some of the new Caribou singles we were listening to, and how the songs shift from what is like quite a whimsy like pop song into like a dancey, euphoric sort of type tune. So the idea took some influence from that, and that's how we got there.
And I think that this project, just the two of us, we do have that freedom to really take a song off in any direction we want. So although it seemed quite a big change, something you wouldn't necessarily do in a bigger band, maybe it might be more difficult to suddenly take a different change. If we sort of on a whim, we can just actually what this needs is a big euphoric dance section. So why don't we just stick it in there and just make it work?
Go.
Okay, so the meaning of the song, Telephone Song, always an interesting question what the meaning of a song is. Don't want to over-explain it. I mean, there's not many lyrics to the song. It's, I called you on the telephone, what does it matter? And everyone comes here to see you here. So, I mean, just a couple of lines of lyrics. Take from it what you will, I would say. I don't really want to over-explain those lyrics. What do you think, Smallen? Have you got any other thoughts on the meaning of it?
I've got my own interpretation of it, but it's all up here really. I'm not going to share it with anyone. It's definitely it's one to think about. It's like a thinker, I think.
I think with all lyrics, especially with these lyrics, it's good to leave it open as well. You don't want to have one obvious meaning behind lyrics. I prefer having it. And it's certainly, I think it's definitely influenced by the mood of the song as well. The lyrics, so that lyrics come out of jamming out the song, and just some kind of mantra. Often we come up with, I think.
It's like a conceptual art form or something, everyone takes their own sort of nugget of wisdom. And it's about the process of processing those thoughts is really what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to make people think, aren't we?
Yeah, I think just coming up with a nice line that you like the sound of the words, the meaning behind that line, and then just repeating that gives it a certain power as well, I think. So I think I quite like that it just repeats lines. I think that kind of
makes it easier as well.
Yeah, it makes it easy to remember as well. Yeah,
I'm right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the second track as well. We're releasing a whole EP, a 4-track EP, 3 original songs, and then a remix. The second track is a 12-minute epic called Water the Plants. We really would have originally wanted to have made it a single, but you can't you can have a 12-minute single, but we were too scared to, so we made it a B-side of the EP, didn't we?
It's on the album as well.
It's on the album as well, coming in July, 17th of July.
Yeah, so yeah, it's track off. It's kind of like the center. I think it's kind of like the centerpiece of the album in some ways. But as you say, it wouldn't really be a standalone single because it's 12 minutes long. That song just started as something, as a 2-chorder thing that I think I just wrote at home, and I wrote a few tunes the same day about watering the plants. I need to water the plants so they're happy. Just like that, really round in circles. And again, it's kind of a mantra, just repeating the same kind of line, building it up and things like that. So just mucking around with that, and then brought that into the studio. Pretty much the same process, I'd say, as Telephone Song, around the same time as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we started performing it at gigs, because originally it was a jam, and then we started performing it at gigs, and it ended up being like 20 minutes, like a dance epic. Also, I got a copy of like a 303, and kind of started. That's what made it kind of quite dancey and acid housey. Kind of sort of started going a bit crazy. This, and that's what kind of like left the longevity of it. Kind of made it such a long tune, was just because it had that repetitive sort of psychedelic feel to it.
Yeah, it really added a lot. And of course, it is basically a fusion of 2 songs as well. So the Small Crash and Burn is actually another song, really. So Small Crash and Burn wasn't supposed to be small crash and burn. Wasn't supposed to be small. That bit is kind of a separate thing, really, altogether. We just kind of, again, similar to Telephone Song, just merging ideas because we want them to work. And it was a nice key change. And so it has 3 distinct sections of song as well. So definitely it's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's one of those songs that we kind of, Adam originally came up with some musical ideas. We took it to the studio, jammed it out, came up with some ideas together, and then gave it its own life form when we recorded it and made it a studio project. So it kind of had a live life form, then like a studio life form where it's being recorded. And then it turns into another thing when we start performing it again as an album song. So it kind of has these like 3 or 4 motions of how the tune evolves.
Yep. And then another song, Sorry Carbuncle, didn't make it onto the album, but we thought it was a nice song. It's got kind of a catchy riff. It's quite a bit more lo-fi than the other tracks. But then it goes into a really good dance section at the end. So it pads out to 4 minutes, over 4 minutes long. Which is good fun, and we've got a nice remix at the end as well, which is really cool. A friend of yours, Malin, wasn't it?
Yeah, we run a live electronic night in Brighton called Midnight Salad, which is kind of like putting together a community of people that like to sort of like dance and like have a good time, but also watch some live performance of music as well. So it's kind of merging a lot of like club nights. You kind of just see DJs, and it can kind of get a bit boring if you're into like watching music and you're into like live music. So trying to merge the 2, and it's been really successful. And E1 is one of our performer, like someone who's performed there and was due to perform at our next night as well, that got cancelled because of the lockdown. So we decided to ask him to do a remix for us of the song because he couldn't perform at the next club night.
Yep, that's the story. And then we're going to give a bonus question. How did we come up with the name Fruity Water, which is a question to get asked quite a lot, but never tire of answering. We weren't asked this one, but Malin, did you want to tell the story of how we came up with the name Fruity Water?
Well, you tell it so well as well. I told it last time and fudged it. So you. Okay,
so we all sat around the table back in 2016-17 time. Our friend Tom Matthews' house, and we were talking about we really needed a name to come up with. What are we going to call ourselves? We've got this project, and come up with all kinds of crazy names, but none of them working. And then I just looked down and saw Smallin had brought in one of those little bottles of Volvic strawberry flavored water, and he took a swig just as we were giving up and about to just go home. And I was like, "That's it, Fruity Water," and the rest is history.
Hell yeah. Great. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to us sort of blabber on about our single and our EP release. Do have a listen to it. It's on Spotify and all the other decent streamers. If you just search Fruity Water Telephone Song EP, we're really pleased with it. Feel like it's got like a good, lively sort of dance edge to it, and reckon you'll enjoy it as well.
Thank you. Bye.